हेलो एंड अ वेरी गुड इवनिंग टू यू ऑल। एक बार फिर से आपका स्वागत है बियॉन्ड द बाउंड्री पर। आप देख रहे हैं TOI स्पोर्ट्स, हमारी ये प्रस्तुति, और आज काफी सारी डिस्कशन होने वाली है द फर्स्ट T20 बिटवीन इंडिया एंड साउथ अफ्रीका एज वेल। बट उससे पहले एक बहुत बड़ी खबर है, और वो ये है कि इंडिया हैज रिफ्यूज्ड टू गो टू पाकिस्तान फॉर द चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी and they won their matches in Dubai. So we'll be discussing that. We have a full panel as always. I'm Chetan Narula, and with me, let's bring on the panelists to discuss this breaking news, as also India A's performance, and of course, India versus South Africa, the first T20 in Durban. So let's bring on our panelists. We have K. Srinivas Rao, Group Sports Editor, TOI, and we also have Sahil Malhotra, Dopayan Datta, and Nitin Nayak, as always. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
So let's have the first graphic on the screen. जैसा मैंने कहा कि India has refused to go to Pakistan, which was always in the offing. ये होने ही वाला था. It was always going to happen that India will not travel to Pakistan, and the socio-political conditions are not right for that to go and play cricket. The relationship between the two countries is not good enough for India to go and play cricket over there. लेकिन जैसा हम पहले जानते हैं कि PCB ने शेड्यूल रिलीज कर दिया था, शेयर कर दिया था, वैसे से रिलीज शेयर कर दिया था ICC और सारे नेशंस के साथ, एंड वी वर वेटिंग फॉर अ फाइनल कम्युनिकेशन फ्रॉम इंडिया। लाहौर आने की बात हो रही थी कि सारे इंडिया के मैचेस आप लाहौर में कर लो, आप लाहौर में खेल के वापस इंडिया चले जाओ, ये कर लो वो कर लो। नन ऑफ दैट इज हैपनिंग. India has said they want to play in Dubai. Let's get thoughts. First of all, Srini, what do you have to say to this news? It's on expected lines.
Yes, nothing surprising there. Nothing surprising. It wasn't surprising at all when it happened during ahead of the Asia Cup, and it's not surprising once again when it's happening ahead of the Champions Trophy. I know there have been apprehensions. I know there have been like kind of various versions that have been coming out, considering the fact that it's an ICC tournament, and BCCI is under no pressure whatsoever. They are free to take that call, and they have kind of drawn that line a long time ago. You know, people are drawing comparisons to what happened in 2023. When the World Cup happened in India and Pakistan toured here. As this conversation goes further, I'll explain how those dynamics are different, and they have nothing to do with each other. We'll talk a lot about everything, Asia Cup, everything as this conversation goes further. But for now, yes, you're correct. BCCI will not relent on their stand about going to Pakistan. That's not going to change. It's going to be a hybrid tournament.
And it's not just the BCCI, Srini, if we can really say so. It's also the Indian government. The Indian government is not going
Yeah,
to
I
give
mean,
you permission.
obviously, this is not BCCI's decision. This is not a decision for the BCCI to make. BCCI
Alone,
got no say here. It is the Indian government which has taken a call here. BCCI just has to follow what it's told. And that's about it. And that was a case when the Asia Cup happened, and that's the case right now.
Okay, let's just look at the story. Sahil Malhotra की story है ये, आप Times of India पे जाकर इसको पढ़ सकते हैं. Indian cricket team will not travel to Pakistan for the Champions Trophy, want to play their matches at a neutral venue. It is learned that the BCCI has communicated this decision to the PCB and other stakeholders, which is the ICC, the broadcasters, etc., the other teams, Australia, England, etc., so on. And there's a bright possibility of India's matches being played in Dubai. We also know that Jay Shah will become the ICC the ICC chairman in a short while. And when this decision is taken, जब ये decision लिया जाएगा कि ये matches कहाँ खेले जाएंगे, UAE में. We just saw the women's T20 World Cup was shifted from Bangladesh to UAE. No issues there at all once again. So जब ये decision लिया जाएगा, Sahil, Jay Shah will be in the chair at the ICC. That might just help things move along. लेकिन यहाँ पर एक और भी चीज सामने आती है. It's not just about India's group games, because if India qualify for the knockouts, the semis and the final, then they also cannot happen in Pakistan. The semis and the final cannot happen in Pakistan.
No, but Chetan, let's be very clear with the fact that it's not Jay Shah's mess to clear, right? He wasn't the ICC chairman when the FTP was drawn and the tournament was given to Pakistan. And in all likelihood, the clarity will be given to us even before he assumes the role of ICC chair, which will happen in the first week of December. So you are talking about the next 1 week where we'll get clarity about the ICC Champions Trophy, because 100 days prior to every ICC tournament, ICC needs to release that draft schedule. The draft schedule has already been leaked by numerous media outlets in Pakistan and the Western media, where they said Lahore mein final hoga, Lahore mein ye game hoga, wo game hoga. That was just a draft schedule, and that draft schedule is still in place. Even if ICC releases the schedule as per their original plan on Monday, there could be a bright possibility को venue mention ही ना करे, सिर्फ एक आपको टूर्नामेंट का शेड्यूल दिख जाएगा कौन सा मैच कब खेला जा रहा है. और इंडिया का स्टैंड इसमें बहुत क्लियर है. आईसीसी के अंदर अगर मैं 2 हफ्ते पहले का चार्टर बताऊं जब मेरी बात हुई थी, so I was told that they're still consulting with the BCB and they're still going ahead with the plans of hosting it in Pakistan. But as of today, that stand has changed within the ICC as well. So I was told today that now they are in consultation with all the participating nations. So अब थोड़ा fast track हो रही हैं चीजें because we are nearing that deadline of announcing the schedule, which is in a couple of days time. So the schedule will very much be announced, and अभी इसके अंदर let's not jump to conclusion that Jay Shah आएगा तो whatever India would want will happen.
No, I mean,
this is something
yeah.
पहले, and this is something which will happen even before he becomes the chairman. So I think it's
Okay.
थोड़ा
No, but what I meant to say was,
चीजें.
yeah, but what I meant to say was that things will move along probably a little smoother communication in a way. But again, let's also consider the fact, and I'll bring Nitin and Dwapayan here for the conversation as well. It was surprising, Nitin and Dwapayan, it was surprising कि पाकिस्तान जैसी country में आप एक ICC tournament host करने जा रहे हो. This was always going to be the case. There is no surprise that India is refusing to go to Pakistan. ये eventually होना ही था. So why would you pick a country like Pakistan? You can say कि आप UAE में करा सकते हो tournament and Pakistan retains the hosting rights. But no, हमें ये भसड़ create करनी ही है और होनी ही है, and then आपको pressure बनाने की कोशिश करना है Indian cricket पर, BCCI पर, Indian government पर. So this is what surprises me really about the ICC. Let's get comments from Nitin and then bring in Krish Srinivas Rao.
Yeah, it's avoidable. In fact, in an event where India and Pakistan are both playing, both countries, I feel, should not host events. The event should be hosted by some other country, because what will happen now is next year we have the Women's ODI World Cup in India, and Pakistan might say that okay, हमारे matches आप hybrid model में कहीं और करा दो. Then in the 2026 World Cup, thankfully, Sri Lanka are the co-hosts where Pakistan can play there, like it happened in the 2011 World Cup, where they traveled to India only for the semi-final. They played most of their games. The quarterfinal, I think, they played in Bangladesh, and the group matches in Sri Lanka, in Hambantota and in Colombo. So
no, but there is a. Let me just interject here. You can't equate the two. Can you really equate the two? Where you can say that Pakistan can refuse to play in India? Yes, they can. But we have grounds. Do Pakistan have similar grounds? And I think that is a very big debate here. Do Pakistan have similar grounds to say, okay, boss, security issue hai? You know, look, let's be very honest. An Australian team or New Zealand team, an England team, they will also be under security threat. In Pakistan, anybody can be in security threat. But an Indian team, an Indian cricketer faces a very different security threat in Pakistan. So, इसमें कोई debate नहीं हो सकता कि there is a credible threat, and you just cannot say कि भैया आप इंडिया पाकिस्तान का मैच इंडिया में भी मत कराओ. Thoughts, Dupayan?
No, I do not exactly agree, because if England, Australia, others can play in Pakistan, then probably India can also play. But this is a case of geopolitics. It's a case of financial muscle. A lot of things are involved here, so I do not want to get into that. But yes, I agree to what Nitin was saying. I like Pakistan will probably say they don't want to play in India, but they will have to play in India. So that is how it is. One who is powerful do call the shots. We are a powerful nation in every sense of the term when it comes to cricket. So we do call the shots. It's fine. That is how it is. So I'll keep it to that.
Okay. Let's go to Srini, who wanted to speak on the topic.
I completely agree with what Dwapayan said. It's got nothing to do with. See, let's not bring cricket into this. Cricket has got nothing to do with this. It's totally a geopolitical issue. It's got nothing to do with the game, or it's got nothing to do with the cricket boards, etc., whatsoever. So on that front, I agree with Dwapayan on the front that there are other countries that are going to Pakistan, and some very good series have happened, very good or boring or whichever, but series have happened. Cricket have been happening in Pakistan. So, to say that one particular team, finds it unsafe to go and all, no, that's not an area that I would like to go, and that's not an area where I would like to kind of say anything. What is important here is that it's not a cricketing decision; it's a geopolitical decision. On that front, BCCI, from thanks to the Indian government, was never going to go. This was never going to happen. What we are watching right now, it's only the decision being conveyed and actually, things being moved in that direction. And yes, if by the way, I can tell you that the knockouts for the tournament will also be hybrid if India make it to the knockouts, which is likely to happen because it's only a six-nation tournament. The knockouts will be shifted out of Pakistan, where India matches specifically are concerned, and they'll be held in Dubai, exactly the way things happened during the Asia Cup. Having said that, there are a lot of other elements that kind of come into the picture here. From an economic standpoint, BCCI has not really been a great fan of this Champions Trophy model in the first place because it is an ICC tournament and BCCI has to adhere to whatever the ICC mandate is why this tournament is going ahead. Remember one thing, that when the decision to take this tournament to Pakistan was taken, it was an Indian who was heading the ICC. It was Mr. Shashank Manohar, under whose chairmanship this tournament was so a lot of things have happened behind the scenes. And as I said, I don't see any cricketing logic in India saying no. This is totally a geopolitical decision, and I think that should rest there.
Okay, I mean, there's a lot that can be said on the geopolitics as well, but this is a cricket show, so we will not venture into that direction. लेकिन श्रीनी, यहाँ पर एक और दो पॉइंट जरूर आते हैं. पहला पॉइंट जैसा आपने कहा कि सेमीफाइनल्स या फाइनल जो नॉकआउट सिचुएशन है, look, the knockout situation is not a flexible situation. आप ये नहीं कह सकते कि इंडिया जो है वो क्वालिफाई करेगा तो हम यूएई में खेलेंगे, अगर इंडिया क्वालिफाई नहीं करेगा तो हम पाकिस्तान में.
वो नहीं होने वाला, वो नहीं होने वाला.
So basically, India matches and the knockout matches. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, I agree with you. That is not going to happen. So one knockout will be kept in Dubai, or kind of either it will be divided or it will be totally shifted to Dubai. But it is going to happen that way. It is going to happen exactly on the lines of how Asia Cup happened.
Yeah, it could be like India's matches and then the semi-final that India might play. What if India qualifies for the semi-final? That semi-final plus the final will be in Dubai, and whatever select few matches they might be happening in Pakistan. The other equation is, yes, you mentioned about Shashank Manohar and all of that, but at the same time, ICC itself should be knowing, right? We have the broadcast situation as well. They should be knowing, when you're paying $3 billion, for a fact.
Well, I mean, to give credit or to not give credit to the ICC, not all their decisions have been based on logic. They took the World Cup to the US, and we all know how disastrously it ended in terms of the economics for ICC, where ICC is concerned. I don't really give much importance to some of the decisions that was taken in the ICC in the last 5 years. Some of those decisions were against the grain of basic logic. And it's caused a lot of damage. People don't really accept and admit these things and admit their mistakes in public. And people, there are two kinds of people: one who follow cricket but really don't understand the dynamics that happen behind the scenes. So it's pretty understandable why people tend to have a very different view on things. The fact of the matter is that the tournament that was held in the US was as bad as the idea of hosting a tournament in Pakistan from a financial standpoint. The US was a disaster, and so is this question of hosting this tournament in Pakistan, which again, from a very different standpoint, not financially, but geopolitically, it's a very different standpoint. But having said that, the repercussions are the same. These decisions get taken because, again, there was a very poor administration in place. Unfortunate, but then, you got to live with them. People equate this to the Asia Cup. I wouldn't really relate this to the Asia Cup, because in Asia Cup, teams from the subcontinent play a very, very vital role in the tournament actually kind of being pulled off. Asia Cup is, Pakistan are very, very important stakeholders where Asia Cup is concerned. Without India and Pakistan, without that particular clash, the Asia Cup will cease to exist. And in a tournament like that, as important like that from an Asia standpoint, India continues to play a very important role from the economic standpoint. So, it's a very different equation. You can't compare it to the World Cup. From a World Cup, from an ICC standpoint, from a Champions Trophy standpoint, is a very poor decision. Really, I mean, if I start getting into it, it will lead to another parallel. Having said that, a poor decision.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Sahil, just a last thought on this story. India Pakistan हमें दिखता ही है हर ICC event में, हर ICC tournament में India versus Pakistan होता ही है. We are assuming India versus Pakistan will happen this time as well. If and when it happens, it will happen in Dubai in a Pakistan hosted tournament.
Yeah, so just for the just for the masses, even if the tournament shifts to Dubai, which it will for India games, Pakistan will still remain the host. They will enjoy the hosting rights. They'll get the gate receipts and everything, all the commercial and everything. So they'll continue to pocket whatever is earned out of the Dubai leg. So they will remain the receivers of all those things. Now, just adding what Mohsin Naqvi has just said in a media address at the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore, where he was apprising the media about the preparations for the tournament. Quite naturally and understandably, he was asked about India's stand and the recent media reports which had emerged out of India that India aren't traveling. So he said that he's waiting for a written communication from the BCCI, and he said that he will continue to maintain that they are still very much for hosting the tournament in Pakistan, and they are not yet exploring the hybrid option. And he also said that if India decides against coming to Pakistan, then they'll consult with their government and take stricter action, quote unquote, stricter actions for future, because he said that their country has been giving good gestures. So he wants the same to be done by the neighbors. But again, I think we shouldn't drive into that direction, क्योंकि वो पॉलिटिक्स मेरे सर के ऊपर से जाता है. बट हाँ, वो 7-8-9 मिनट का प्रेसर उन्होंने किया. सो उसके अंदर उन्होंने यही आश्वासन दिया अपने पत्रकारों को कि हम तो यही करेंगे, और वो गद्दाफी का पूरा टॉर दिखा रहे थे. स्टेडियम में रेनोवेशन चल रहा है, और वो चेतन, वो जो हम स्टेडियम का बात कर रहे हैं, आई थिंक बाय इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर वाइज दे आर एक्चुअली डूइंग अ लॉट राइट नाउ. दे हैव initiated a pan-country upgradation drive, which is similar to what India did for the 2023 ODI World Cup. So पैसा वो लोग भी खर्च रहे हैं, इंटेंट वो भी दिखा रहे हैं. But as Srini said, as Dwaipan said, as Nitin said, this is थोड़ा अलग मैटर. वरना क्रिकेटिंग वाइज तो I see no reason why anyone should be hesitant to go to Pakistan.
I think obviously this needs to be said. Obviously, it might not be very logical. Srini, just one final comment on this, bringing you in. What are the chances of Pakistan not budging on this? I mean, we know a hybrid model, and then India also putting its foot down. Does that at all a possibility of something that could happen? These three bodies coming to a loggerhead?
There could be a lot of posturing and all that might happen. It happened during Asia Cup also, but eventually it will all settle down. Nobody will have a problem with anything. Cricket will happen. Cricket will go on. It's just that we won't go there. That's it. Nothing else will kind of change. It's okay. I mean, without India, obviously, there can't be an ICC level tournament. So again, I mean, from that standpoint, the tournament has to go forward, go ahead. So everybody sees it that way. It's only the posturing that makes a lot of noise, and which happened ahead of the Asia Cup also, which is happening now also. And by the way, we'll be doing more shows on this, because I know there'll be some heated exchanges happening, kind of between administrators and they have to show to their people that they are taking the right stand. So it's bound to happen. But having said that, a hybrid tournament is the only way out, and everybody understands why.
Okay, so that was the first topic for today, and let me tell you, jitne bhi comments aaye hain, all the fans are more worried about India playing in Dubai and India's performances in ICC events not being too great in Dubai and the UAE. But let me tell you, you will also be worried by India A performances against Australia A, which was also a topic of discussion yesterday. Let's bring in Nitin and Dwapayan today. Let's have the scorecard. What is the latest scorecard for India A against Australia A? 73 for 5. Dhruv Jurel still holding strong.
Chetan, can we avoid wasting time and do a replay of what we discussed yesterday?
No. We're not having a. We're not getting into that. We have to mention, right? We have to mention. Dhruv Jurel again holding strong. It's not about wasting time. We're not just talking about KL Rahul. It's also about Dhruv Jurel. He's again using up deliveries. Obviously, we have to mention the way KL Rahul got out today. Matlab, when you're out of form, Nitin, you'll find a new way to get out. And what happened today was inexplicable. Lekin, let's draw a line under the sand and say कि ये जो experiment आप करने जा रहे हो, ये already fail हो चुका है.
Big time fail हो चुका है. और I hope that in Perth they don't again push the bloke up the order and ask him to open. I hope they stick with Ishwaran, and I hope that Dhruv Jurel bats at number 6. And even if it means playing with only 4 bowlers, it's okay. But Dhruv Jurel has to be in the playing 11.
Okay. Dwapayan, your thoughts on this? Abhi Jurel is not out. Nitish Reddy also not out. Indian fans will be hoping कि okay, ahead of the first test, they bat a few more deliveries tomorrow, get some runs under their belt, get some batting time and confidence going in. And also, your thoughts on Dhruv Jurel has to be there in the playing 11 क्योंकि ये buzz अब social media में बन गया है. I'm sure we all know that Gautam Gambhir is not a fan of social media, but at the same time, he does some things according to social
No,
media as
no,
well.
no. Social media, no social media. Dhruv Jurel is looking good. That's what matters. He's playing really well, and that's why he should be there in the 11. And the thing about Ishwaran is that Ishwaran has failed in 4 innings now. So that is again a point of concern if you are planning to push him, but make him the opener in Perth. So he, that's another area of concern. And the way today KL Rahul's the mode of dismissal was something else, like getting out, like as we say in football, like nutmeg, getting nutmegged to get bowled off a nothing off spinner was a ridiculous way to get out. But yeah, I don't know, like he was just settling down against the pace, got out to a spinner. It's unfortunate, but among all things, just there, I will just suggest just one bright spot. Like, did you guys see the way Australia batted against Pakistan today? They have been horrendous. They have been horrendous. I'm telling you. Like most of these
Okay,
guys are going to play in that Test match, and they are playing pretty
but again,
poorly,
you're
and they are
They
very
were
bullish
cocky.
in their approach. They have to,
They were
even when
cocky.
they are
They were
losing
cocky.
wickets, they go for shots and get out. So there is a silver lining there.
yeah, but again, you also have to consider the format. This is an ODI format, eight inning, but against India, they might,
बहुत bullish है Australia.
bullish hai, but then they'll have 10 innings, they'll have 10 innings, and a test match allows you that time to come back. अगर आपका एक छोटा mini collapse भी हो गया, Australia in their own conditions. Again, I'm not saying कि it's all negative, gloom and doom for India. India's bowling attack may just do wonders. But Nitin, your thoughts, and for those, before we move on to Nitin, for those who don't know the nutmeg जो term है, which Dopayan has used, when the ball goes in between your legs, that's और आप नहीं चाहते हो कि वैसा हो आपके साथ, लेकिन ऐसा हो जाता है. That's called being nutmegged, and that's what happened with KL Rahul. But again, so Nitin, my question to you is, Abhimanyu Eswaran, he's also not scored runs, and again, no confidence there. अब अगर रोहित शर्मा नहीं है, अगेन यू वर वेरी बुलिश कि आपको ईश्वरन को खिलाना ही है, आपको ध्रुव जुरैल को ही खिलाना है. कैन यू गो थ्रू एज ऑफ टुडे, if I tell you to pick a playing 11 or a batting lineup, what would be your batting lineup for the first test?
Iswaran Jaiswal, number 3 Gill, number 4 Virat, number 5 Rishabh, number 6 Dhruv Jurel, number 7 Jadeja, number 8 Bumrah, or what? Sorry, number 8 would be what? Bumrah, Siraj, and
Sundar
Akash.
and Sundar or Ashwin,
Yeah,
or
Sundar
you
or
would pick
Ashwin.
4 pacers? Okay.
Yeah,
Sahil and Dopayan, do you agree or
3
disagree with this
pacers,
time?
3
As
pacers,
of
and
today,
2
yeah.
spin.
Okay, as of today, without seeing the pitch or anything, as of today, Sahil and Dopayan, do you agree with that playing 11? Do you disagree? What are your
No,
thoughts?
I will go with KL Rahul. If Rohit is not playing, KL Rahul at the top, and then after that till Jadeja, it's fine, and then 4 pacers, which after today's bowling performance, and I think India is also inclined to play Prasidh Krishna. So on that pitch of
Yeah.
Waka, so
Okay.
Bumrah,
Okay.
Siraj, Akash, and Prasidh, I think.
Okay. Sahil, just to add on a question, Prasidh Krishna picked up 4 wickets. What do you make of that? I think that was a decent warm up. अगर आप चाहोगे कि एक पॉजिटिव चीज निकल कर आई है from this India A tour, considering the test squad, only the test squad, Prasidh Krishna's got some bowling rhythm under his belt. I think that was a big positive.
Yeah, I think rhythm was the key word there, Chetan. I think जो भी उसने spells डाले looked in good rhythm, wasn't erratic with his lines and lengths, shape अच्छा generate हो रहा था. So I think big positive for India. And Mukesh is just making life difficult for the selectors to include him in the 15 यार, because वो अच्छा ball डाल रहा है, बिल्कुल टप्पा नहीं छोड़ रहा. And it's about time we realize the importance of having a bowler in Ishant Sharma's mold, and that's going to be very crucial in the BGT. So. Good positives as far as Prasidh and Mukesh are concerned, but as far as batting is concerned, I have a slightly different take to that. People think it's comical, but I have my own logic behind that. I still feel Shubman should open if Rohit isn't playing the first game. You should have Virat at 3, and then you have Dhruv Jurel playing as specialist batter. I don't see Abhimanyu Iswaran or KL Rahul, after what has happened. These 4 innings, जहां पे आपने उनको लिटरली एक डाउन वोट ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस दिया पहले अभिमन्यु को कि केएल उसके साथ खड़ा कर दिया लाके, फिर केएल को कंफ्यूज कर दिया, इतने कंफ्यूजन में आप एक और कंफ्यूजन कर दोगे. सो आई थिंक लेट योर एक्सपीरियंस प्लेयर्स टेक द रिस्पांसिबिलिटी यार. I remember Hanuma Vihari coming out to open for India. I think Melbourne game था जहाँ वो 66 बॉल पे 6 या 7 रन बनाया. Virat Kohli mentioned at the presser those were the most important 66 deliveries he faced there, weathering of the new ball. So I think Gill should open, Virat should come at 3. There are no comfort zones in Test cricket. You take it on the chin. There's no hiding out there, यार. 4 number पे comfort चाहिए तो मतलब I have a different take. I think Dhruv Jurel should be there in the middle order. And I was reading Gaurav Joshi, popularly known as Gampa Cricket on Twitter. He was covering that game MCG ke andar, and he tweeted that Dhruv Jurel didn't even have a practice session before this game. So no nets, nothing. He walks into the MCG and did what he did. So he's riding high on confidence, yaar. And
no, that's fine.
confidence.
That's fine. But I'll just interject here. it's all very fine. Or social media pe bhi I was taking some tweets, giving some responses. But look, yes, it's all great to be confident and everything. But ये जो आप कह रहे हो ना कि Dhruv Jurel to be included in the playing 11, it'll depend on a few permutations and combinations. A, क्या आप शुभमन गिल को ओपनिंग कराओगे? B, क्या आप विराट कोहली को नंबर 3 पे ले जाओगे? Do you want to create that extra middle order spot? So we know for a fact that the Indian team management can be reluctant to make such changes. अगर आप एक मैच के लिए भी स्टॉप गैप अरेंजमेंट भी कर रहे हो, they are reluctant to make such changes, and the fact that they asked KL Rahul to open is an indicator of the same. But again, we'll stop here for this discussion. Not waste too much of time on this because we have a new series to build up to. Let's take that one up. Let's bring on the schedule of South Africa versus India T20s 4-match series. India और Australia का build up चलता रहेगा next week and everything. Watch out for bowler and कह रहे हैं Rohit, and yes, he is going to be a very, very important bowler. But let's move on to South Africa and India, which is going to be starting very, very shortly, 8:30 p.m. I'm also referring to my commentary notes now. First T20I, of course, today. Then we have 3 more to go after that, Sunday, then the 2 next week. So let's build up to this. A lot of franchisees will be having eyes on this one. क्योंकि अगर हम बात करें तो साउथ अफ्रीका के सिर्फ 2 प्लेयर्स जो हैं वो रिटेन हुए हैं, ट्रिस्टन स्टब्स एंड हाइंड्रिक क्लासन. ऑल्दो साहिल, इफ आई कैन मेंशन, ट्रिस्टन स्टब्स का नाम ऑक्शन की लिस्ट में भी है, व्हिच वाज प्रोबेबली एन एरर बिकॉज़ ही इज बीन रिटेन फॉर 10 crores. और इंडिया की बात करें अगर हम तो you have Vyashak, you have Avesh, you have Ramandeep and you have Jitesh Sharma. These 4 इन पर भी नजर होगी. So let's start and build the base to this particular series. Let's start with Sahil and then get thoughts from Nitin and Gopayan. Sahil.
No, I think I'll take a cue from where Nitin left yesterday's show that Ruturaj Gaikwad is in the wrong continent, and I think let's take a cue from there. Ruturaj Gaikwad should have been there. मेरे को दोनों साइड्स का मतलब मैं बहुत कंफ्यूज साउंड कर रहा हूँ या मैं बहुत स्टूपिड साउंड कर रहा हूँ, बट जब मैं दोनों स्क्वाड्स देखता हूँ, इंडिया ए और साउथ अफ्रीका वाला स्क्वाड, और इनफैक्ट उससे ज्यादा मेरे को फ्रस्ट्रेटिंग बिट क्या लगा, VVS Lakshman should have been with the India A team, not with the South Africa team for the T20s, where you मतलब क्या input लोगे लक्ष्मण से यार? You should have sent him with the boys. He has been seeing very closely at the NCA for the last 4-5 months क्योंकि high performance camp हुआ, all rounder camp हुआ, over 23 camp हुआ, likes of Nitish Reddy and all have प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा, इन सबका रिहैब उसकी नजरों के सामने हुआ. You should have sent him there. आपने कोच भी गलत भेज दिया, सुतांशु कोटक को भेज दिया. कोटक साहब यहाँ चले जाते तो कोई ज्यादा फर्क पड़ता नहीं, ना वहां ना यहाँ. लक्ष्मण साहब अगर ऑस्ट्रेलिया वाली टीम के साथ रहते, मे बी एन एक्सचेंज ऑफ आइडियाज, मे बी लक्ष्मण वुड हैव स्पेंट सम टाइम विद गंभीर, जो पर्थ वाला पीरियड था 10 दिन का. ये सब आई डोंट नो व्हाई नो वन गिव थॉट टू दीज आइडियाज. एंड अभी इतना कंफ्यूज्ड लुक, मैं ये स्क्वाड देख रहा हूँ, इसके अंदर व्हाट आर वी अचीविंग विद दीज प्लेयर्स? क्या क्या हासिल हो जाएगा अवेश खान को, यश दयाल को मैच खिला के?
नहीं, look, इतना छोटा डिटेल में I don't think the Indian board इतना deep जाता है. Let's not get into those conversations, but let's bring Nitin Nayak into this conversation. Nitin, Ruturaj Gaikwad on the wrong continent, but the bigger question, and I also want to go to Dwapayan with this question, is Hardik Pandya also on the wrong continent?
Yeah, absolutely. But does he want to play red ball cricket? That's the point. And same with what Sahil said about Shubman Gill opening. Sorry to go back again to that game, but I think Shubman Gill has made up his mind to not open and be at number 3. So there's that and by doing that, you're interchanging too many batting positions, which I don't think is very advisable. So, and coming back to here, yes, Hardik Pandya should have been on the plane to Australia, and NKR should have been here, and also I know I'm saying something very, very controversial here and troll worthy, but I feel that Lakshman should be the red ball coach and Gambhir should be the white ball coach.
So okay, so you have said a lot of things here. Let's let's bring Dopayan into the picture. First of all, you're saying Gale
Let's
is
start
not going
cutting
to open.
BODs. Every Nitin
Let's
comment is viraling now. I'll
okay.
start cutting BODs already.
Yeah, Sahil, just 1 second. Hold on.
Yeah.
So you're saying first of all, Shubman Gill at number 3, which is again, which means that KL Rahul will probably open. Okay. You said Abhimanyu Eswaran, probably not going to happen. But again, talking about this particular series, Dopayan, your thoughts on this? Hardik Pandya, we know that he's fit enough at this point in time. Ravi Shastri during the Bangladesh series was talking about it. But in the end, we know that the BCCI, the Indian team management, think of Pandya as a very valuable white ball cricketer across the two formats. लेकिन इस समय in an overseas series where you will need somebody like that, a seam bowler who could bat a bit, and you have sent Nitish Kumar Reddy there, somebody in that mold, and somebody who's an absolute greenhorn. Pandya at least has test experience. He knows what to do in Test cricket, right? So, and of course, you're playing against Australia in Australia. That also counts for something. So, do you also believe that Hardik
Yeah.
Pandya is on the wrong continent, and maybe the Indian management should have had a sit down with him and say, okay, boss, for this one series, do you want to consider playing Test cricket?
No, Chetan, the thing is, I got to know something from a member who is part of this Hardik Pandya's rehab team. The thing is, he is trying to increase his workload to be able to bowl in red ball cricket, and he will probably, after the South Africa series, he will probably play a few Ranji games, whatever is left of the whatever of it will be left, because about the red ball thing, he wants to make a comeback, but at the moment he is not sure whether his body is ready to take the workload for red ball cricket, and he is, if his body holds, then he is most probably eyeing the England series. India probably thought that they will make the WTC final, which may or may not happen, and the England series, if his body holds, then that will probably be the stage where he intends to make a comeback, provided his body holds. That is what I have heard, and he is working on making a red ball comeback. But in case of this white ball tournament, he is an integral part of the white ball team, and when the T20 team goes for a series like this, he will go. Like he is still, uh,
Okay.
that's what it is.
Okay, but you know what? I'll just add to this because the Ranji Trophy takes a break around the last week of November, and then it'll return in February. और उस time पे England will be here for the T20s and the ODIs, and the ODIs are after the T20s, and immediately after the ODIs, you're flying to UAE in all probability for the Champions Trophy. So, and then the IPL starts in mid-March. So, I'm not sure there's going to be scope for Hardik Pandya to be playing red ball cricket. But as Dopayan has said, that okay, maybe if he gets fit enough, then he comes back into contention, probably for the England series, not for the Australia series. So, but he's definitely, as per our panel, and I think Dopayan, by saying that, you're kind of agreeing to it that he's on the wrong continent, and for Indian interests, probably he might have been fit, might have featured against Australia. But looking at this particular squad, we are also missing Riyan Parag, we're missing Shivam Dubey, and we're missing Mayank Yadav. Mayank Yadav को आप 1 मिनट के लिए साइड रखिए, लेकिन Riyan Parag and Shivam Dubey have featured regularly for India in T20s now. India's middle order might be just a bit lightweight. Gopayan and then Sahil.
Riyan Parag is not playing Ranji Trophy also, I guess.
Yeah, he's
No, he's
injured.
injured.
He's
Injured.
He's injured.
Shivam Dubey
He's
injured.
Both are injured.
Shivam Dubey injured.
Yeah,
Mayank
yeah,
injured,
yeah.
and
Right.
Riyan Parag injured. Yeah.
Hmm.
So India's middle order could be lightweight here.
Lightweight may may not be actually, because the when it comes to T20 cricket, this will be more or less your 11, and to be very frank, on a bouncy pitch, Shivam Dubey does not make much of a difference. Like he is good for IPL, वो स्लो बॉलर्स को उठा के मारता है, ठीक है, बट वो थोड़ा बाउंस वाउंस होता है तो वो चलता नहीं है. So I do not attach too much importance to Shivam Dubey. Riyan Parag is a decent bat, but okay, ये जो team है, ये Tilak Verma, Rinku Singh, Jitesh, these are decent players, and of course you have
Okay.
Surya Kumar. This is your more or less your T20 team. The players who will be
Okay.
included to this is Jasprit Bumrah as and when we play a meaningful tournament. So that
Okay.
makes
Okay.
a whole lot of a difference. Yeah.
Okay, we'll take a few comments. जो एक दो तीन comments आए थे, Avesh and Yash Dayal are also in wrong continent. Okay, we are starting in that conversation. लेकिन इससे पहले हम जाते हैं ये वाला. How come Jitesh is traveling with the team and Ishan is sitting in India? Sahil, do you want to explain that one?
I think I see Ishan making a comeback very soon, yaar. मतलब I see him making a comeback very soon. He's a good player, yaar. And अब उसका mental clutter जो clear हो गया. I spoke to him for a very long time. That story was published on TOI.com also. I spoke to him for half an hour, and the clarity which he has, the boy has actually grown up into a man, यार. जिस maturity से अब वो बात कर रहा है, बहुत clear mindset है अब उसका. And he was literally exhausted staying on the bench for good 1 year. 200 मारा bench पे, BGT में keeping करता रह गया, फिर साउथ अफ्रीका में जाके KL को कीपर बना दिया. So for a kid of that age, he did undergo a lot of mental trauma, I would say. Sitting on the bench is not easy if you're not playing cricket. You can't go into nets day in day out for 365 days. World Cup में 2 stop gap match खेला, फिर बाहर बैठ गया. So he's refreshed now, and उसका journey अगर आप देखोगे अभी, it has been similar to what a club cricketer undergoes, right? वो डीवाई पाटिल खेला, आईपीएल खेला, बुच्ची बाबू खेला, रणजी खेला, दिलीप खेला, ईरानी कप खेला. सो उसने सारे स्टेप्स खेले, अब वो इंडिया ए में आ गया. सो ये स्टेप था, यहां भी आया. अब आप उसको आगे व्हाइट बॉल, आई थिंक इंग्लैंड सीरीज के अंदर यू शुड सी हिम इन द स्कीम ऑफ थिंग्स. Probably, are we playing T20s against England? If we are, then
Yeah,
I think
5 T20s. 5.
हाँ, so he should be, because ODIs के अंदर तो आप चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी का मेकअप स्क्वाड देखने वाले हो. So if Ishan gets that opportunity to play Vijay Hazare and Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, I hope he sets it on fire and kind of stakes his claim in the 11. यार Jitesh again was hard done. Jitesh को एक टाइम पे आपने एकदम सर पे चढ़ा दिया था कि मतलब आफ्टर 1 सीजन आई थिंक आपने उसको फास्ट ट्रैक करा हर चीज में, बट देन सडनली ही वाज आउट ऑफ रेकनिंग. आपने फिर उसको एकदम से पीछे कर दिया. सो जितेश को भी आपने ऐसा फेयर रन तो नहीं दिया. सो by the England series, we'll have our answers very clear about which keeper is going to play which format, because there's a problem of plenty. Dhruv Jurel, Rishabh Pant, Sanju Samson, Ishan Kishan, lot of wicket keepers there. So सही keeper को सही जगह डालो. सही keeper को
Okay, सही keeper को सही जगह डालो. और I think that has brought me to my favorite topic, and that is Sanju Samson. Sanju Samson. Nitin Nayak, I want to bring you in here. Sanju Samson got that 100, mega 100. Or the Sanju Samson fan club finally had something to cheer about, and I think this is a big series for Sanju Samson क्योंकि अब आपको consistency दिखानी है. Now there's always going to be this desire. There was always this desire from Samson कि आप बड़े runs बनाएं, but now it's going to be even more because now you can see, you're capable of something. You've proven this for the first time. It's taken a long time, but now you've proven it. So big series for Sanju Samson.
Yeah, very big series. Also, I think for the first time, he doesn't have anyone looking over his shoulder. I think he's been given those 3 games against Bangladesh, and even here, I think he might play all 4 games. And plus, he has the confidence of the skipper, which I don't think was there with earlier captains. So Sanju, I think, should last time when he played in South Africa, he got 100 at Joburg in the one-day game. So those pitches will suit him also. He likes playing on bouncy pitches, and yeah, looking for a big series for him. Hope the weather stays clear today.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, and I think even on Sunday there's chance of rain in
Port
Herba. Port Elizabeth, but I'm trying to pronounce the new name. Gopayan, let's get the potential playing 11 from you. If you want to pick the potential playing 11 for today, come on, go ahead.
Yeah, from here the potential playing 11 without knowing the conditions and with so less build up to the.
Come on. You're playing in South Africa. You know the conditions. Come on.
No, I
ahead,
know, but then this is a squad of 15, right?
Yeah.
They'll play one spinner among Vishnoi and Chakravarti. So there goes one, and probably Yash Dayal probably sits out.
Okay. Nitin, do you wanna pick an 11?
Can you allow me to have a word on this Sanju Samson thing?
Please go ahead. Go ahead.
The thing is, Sanju Samson, whatever he does, when Rishabh Pant plays when Rishabh Pant is not playing another format and he is available, he will be keeping even in T20s. So Sanju Samson has to score runs and find a place as a batter. Is that possible? He has to do, like, because otherwise when Rishabh Pant is there, Sanju Samson, no one has a place in that 11, because like for a player of that quality, you
No,
don't
but
meddle
Dopayan,
around
my
with that
question.
quality. Hmm.
No, but Dopayan, my question is: does Rishabh Pant have a place in the T20 11? Because we have
Of
been
course he
discussing
has.
this.
Yes,
No, no,
yes,
no, no,
yes.
no. Wait.
Yeah.
We've been discussing this, that Rishabh Pant's. Look, I love Rishabh Pant. अगर मैं selector हूँगा तो तीनों टीम में जगह होगा. लेकिन we've been discussing this on the show that his T20 stock may not be as high, his white ball stock may not be as high, and don't forget, Delhi Capitals have let go of him, not made him captain, while Sanju Samson has been retained at the highest price, is captain of Rajasthan Royals. These things matter, yeah. These things matter. Come on.
ना, बट वो जब 25 करोड़ 30 करोड़ में जाएगा तब तो इट विल बी अ डिफरेंट डायनामिक अगेन.
Okay. We
So
got the
those
answer.
things,
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay. Nitin Nayak, let's have you pick the playing 11. Come on, quickly.
For today, Abhishek, Sanju, Surya, Tilak, Rinku, Hardik, Akshar, um, Hardik, Akshar. I picked 7, right?
Yeah, 7 over.
Then Ravi Bishnoi,
Arshdeep
Yash Dayal, Avesh,
and
Arshdeep.
Avesh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would
Fine.
love to
That's the
see a
11.
Ramandeep. I would love to see
Yes,
see this
I was going to ask. That was my
Ramandeep
question.
guy.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, Dopayan. Yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, like I quite liked him in the IPL last year. He looks a bright player to me. The gutsy, bright, that the kind of player that I like. वो थोड़ा उसमें वो थोड़ा खड़ूस है, वो like कर लेता है, लड़ लेता है, वो that
Yeah.
element I
No,
love.
yeah.
So हाँ, तो अगर
I
खिलाएगा
saw
तो
Ramandeep play in no, I saw Ramandeep play from close quarters while I was doing commentary in Sher in Punjab. मैंने
yeah.
उसको nickname दिया था कि you are he was wearing a yellow jersey. His team उस time पे had a yellow jersey, so I nicknamed him the Superman in yellow basically.
Okay.
He can fly. He's a brilliant fielder. Long on, long
Yeah. I
off,
saw
favorite
that
wicket,
catch in
brilliant
that
fielder. Yeah.
yeah.
In South African conditions, he could be handy with his medium pace. Military medium pace can sometimes bend his back. But एक match हुआ था शेर पंजाब में. It was reduced from 20 overs to 13 overs, and his side had already batted 8 overs, and they were like 70 odd for 5, and he came in और एक ओवर में उसने 30 रन मारे, ठीक है, and then they put on a target of 140, and they ended up winning. Then he took 3 wickets as well. So he can be an all rounder. He can be a very useful player. And again, this is the Gautam Gambhir angle here. He's played for Gautam Gambhir in KKR. He's been introduced into the Indian team. Abhi emerging trophy mein Ramandeep Singh was very pivotal there. Obviously, India did not win that tournament, so he could be one of the players to watch out for from this particular series. Depends on the combination, whether he'll be playing or not, what opportunities he gets. Let's take a quick look at South Africa's squad, because like I mentioned, 2 of their players have been retained in IPL. Tristan Stubbs. Can we have the South Africa squad? Yeah, Tristan Stubbs and Heinrich Klaassen, big names. But uske alawa, aap dekho, Aiden Markram, Reza Hendricks, David Miller. I'm referring to my commentary notes. David Miller, Marco Janssen, and then you have Keshav Maharaj, Gerald Coetzee. These are big names. These are big names which will go under the hammer here. And then you have 2 others who could be, who are in the IPL. I think only 2 players are not in the IPL auction list from this. And also the big names missing. Quinton de Kock, I think he's gone fishing. He's on a fishing holiday. Kagiso Rabada has been rested. And Henrik Nokia and Tabrez Shamsi are not playing because they have not signed central contracts. So quickly, guys, you've seen the South African composition here. Start of the series. I want your predictions. Let's start with Nitin, then Dopayan, and then final word from Sahil. Nitin, predictions.
3-1 India.
3. Okay, Dopayan.
2-2 साउथ
2-2,
अफ्रीका जीतेगा.
okay.
वो उन लोगों को T20 खेलना
Okay.
आता है, बहुत मारता है, बाप रे.
Well, okay. Okay, Sahil.
3-1 India. 3-1 India.
3-1. Okay, 3-1 India. Well, India won the T20 series last time they went there in 2018. 2-1 se jeeta tha. Virat Kohli was brilliant in that series as well. So yeah, let's see what happens. 4-match series जब announce हुई थी तब भी मुझे समझ नहीं आया था कि 4 मैच क्यों, आप 3 मैच खेलो, 5 मैच खेलो, you playing a different Indian team, you never know what really happened there. So, but there is no doubt, Cricket South Africa will make in a lot of money from this.
ये
And
3 मैच
as
का ही
always,
सीरीज था, ये 3 मैच का
उसको
सीरीज
add
था,
कर दिया.
which वो 2021 में जो कोविड के टाइम पे था, तो अभी
Yeah,
उन्होंने
yeah.
एक मैच ऐड
But
किया है.
but might as well add 2, no? Add 2.
Yeah.
Play 5 मैच. अब 2-2 हो जाएगा सीरीज, फिर हम अपना सर खपाते रहेंगे कि यार क्या हुआ ये. Anyway, you're never short of T20 action these days. So as always, we'll be here talking cricket. We'll be back on Monday. आज Friday है, so we'll be taking a 2-day break. Back on Monday with more topics. In fact, we're planning a very special show for you next week sometime. Hopefully Monday, but we'll announce it soon. It's about the growing T20 leagues across the world, player availability, etc., and how, like we mentioned, Heinrich Nokia, Tabrez Shamsi not signing central contracts. But like I said, we'll be back next week with more cricket action to talk about all of it with our panelists. A big thank you to Nitin Nayak, Gopayan, and Sahil, and all to K. Srinivas Rao, Group Sports Editor, TOI, and to our viewers for sending in their comments and watching. As always, we'll see you on Monday, 6:30 p.m. on Beyond the Boundary. This is Chetan Nirula signing off.